And how did you have an idea, or why, after what, you had the idea of creating this system?
You know, this system is exactly what I did to get enlightened 25 years ago. I got to a point in my life where I was always successful, always got what I wanted, because I'm extremely focused, very disciplined, and I just go until I get what I want. I didn't understand the word no. But I could see the minute I got what I wanted, I had to get something else, and something else, and something else, and something else. And it was eternal. And I could also see that I always compromised in my interpersonal relationships because I was afraid of being abandoned. So I'd play small because I had this internal fear. And it was like my Achilles tendon. It was like I was so powerful, except for that. That made me compromise, made me small, made me desperate. And I didn't want to live like that anymore. And that was the decision I made. I was never in any spiritual groups. I had a lot of intuition, and I trusted in my internal voice, and it was very loud. My internal voice was very loud. You know, you need to change. You shouldn't be living in this drama. It's time to wake up. And I don't even know what that means. I didn't even know what waking up was. But I trusted. And the system was created through that.
How to elevate our vibration in these situations where we cannot appreciate or give thanks.
You know, I think you have to be in such a point that even when you're in a difficult situation, you're still experiencing internal gratitude. It's not a conscious thing. It's consciousness. It's there, and no matter what's happening externally, it's always there. But it's about cultivating a vibration permanently, being the love permanently, and cultivating it to the point where it's perpetually your experience. And that's what the system's for. It's like the anchor at the bottom of the ocean. And the waves can't move the boat out of control. The boat flows. Yeah, so it's about expanding your consciousness. And then you start to flow with everything.
Moves me every time. My workplace, in my workplace, I talk about my ex-sickness. I feel like victim. I don't like people to look at me like, oh, poor thing, what a victim. How can I move to change more that?
You know, the thing is, their mortality is being affected. And obviously, your sickness, your ex-sickness, affected them because they love you and they feel it for themselves. But don't get involved. If you don't feel like a victim, just be an example of joy, of consciousness, of someone that recuperated. They can do whatever they want. But that comes from their fear. Everyone's afraid of having cancer. And there's so much cancer.
tanto cáncer.
And yes,
Sí,
they see you as a victim.
te ven como víctima,
But you don't have to see you as a
pero no
victim.
hace falta que tú te veas como víctima.
But how they see you
Pero el cómo ellos te
and how
vean
you see
y el
you
cómo tú te ves
is very
es
distinct.
muy diferente.
You grew.
Tú creciste,
Your life
tu
changed.
vida cambió,
You overcome.
tú superaste.
So you're not a
Así
victim.
que no eres víctima
You're a
para nada.
powerful
Eres
creator.
una creadora poderosa.
Yeah, and you just have to be anchored in that
Y tienes que
experience.
anclarte en esa experiencia nomás.
Hmm? You know, we have to get to the point.
Tenemos que llegar al punto.
I'll tell you something about humans.
Les voy a contar algo sobre los humanos.
Humans
Los humanos
have 110,000 thoughts a day.
tienen 110.000 pensamientos por día.
Occasionally, one person might have
De vez
70,000.
en cuando por ahí alguna persona tiene 70.000 nomás.
And what are those thoughts?
¿Qué son esos pensamientos?
They're just constant.
Son constantes.
Judging, criticizing, comparing, loving, hating.
O amando y
It's
odiando.
a machine.
Una máquina.
But they're their thoughts.
Son sus pensamientos.
Even the people that love you the most in the world
En el mundo
have judgments with you.
tienen juicios contigo.
Everyone has judgments with everyone.
El mundo tiene juicios con todo el mundo.
So we have to get to a
Tenemos
point
que llegar al punto
where we can just allow them to have their judgments.
podamos que la persona tenga sus propios juicios.
Because when they have their
Porque
judgments,
cuando tienen sus juicios,
it's their judgments.
son sus juicios nomás.
They're not your judgments.
Son tus juicios.
But if they affect you,
Pero si te afectan,
they're your
ahí
judgments.
sí son tus juicios.
So you have to use
Así
it
que los tienes que usar
to grow,
para crecer,
to let go.
para soltar.
You have to use it as a
Tienes que
gift.
usarlos como un regalo.
But you need to get to the point
Pero necesitas llegar al punto
that it's like the wind through your
que
hair.
ya sea como el viento que te mueve el pelo nomás.
And if you watch your
Y
thoughts,
si observas tus propios
you'll see you have
vas a ver
judgments with everyone
que
as
tú
well,
tienes juicios con todo el mundo también.
even with the closest people to
Incluso
you.
con las personas más cercanas a ti.
You know, with your partners, with,
Con
if
tu
it's your
pareja,
children,
con tus hijos.
there's always judgment.
Siempre hay juicios.
It's not
Y
important.
no es importante.
Humans are like that.
Humanos son así.
They're always judging. That's why they project that onto God.
Por eso le proyectan todo eso a Dios.
They think He's judging.
Piensan que Él está juzgando.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Because we're judging all the
Porque
time.
estamos nosotros juzgando todo el tiempo.
We're being taught to
Se
judge.
nos ha enseñado a juzgar.
We're being taught to
Se
feel
nos ha
guilt.
enseñado a sentirnos culpables.
We've been taught
Se nos
fear.
ha enseñado el miedo.
We've been taught it. We've been
Se nos ha
trained
enseñado, hemos
like
sido
a little
entrenados
puppy.
como pequeños cachorros.
If you do that,
Si haces eso,
you're going to get in trouble.
te vas a meter en problemas.
And we learn that way.
Y nosotros hemos aprendido de esa manera.
So the judgments
Así que los juicios
are there all the time.
están ahí todo el tiempo.
Let go of your own judgments.
Suelta tus propios juicios. I focus and remember fun things that happen, but there is always a point that I fall in sadness, thinking in what we talked before. I don't know if that is part of that tendency to suffer even with things that were good and beautiful. So I wanted to talk a bit about it.
You know, there's something very poetic
Hay algo muy poético
and intense
intenso
about suffering
sobre el sufrir,
and the dramas and what could happen
puede llegar a
and losing my love and finding this and Yes,
Sí,
it's nostalgic, it's dense, and it's completely boring.
completamente aburrido.
Really.
De verdad, de verdad.
I used to be like that
Yo solía ser así
because I was an artist.
porque yo era artista
I'd write songs and
Escribía
they were so
y era tan
so intense
intensa.
because I was
Porque
intense.
yo era intensa.
Everything was intense. My joy was intense, my passion was intense, my love was intense.
Amor era intenso.
You know, everything was intense.
Era intenso.
But I was suffering
Pero estaba sufriendo.
and I liked it.
Y me encantaba.
I loved it
Amaba.
because it was intense.
Era intenso.
And when that changes,
Cuando eso cambió,
It's such a freedom. To let go of suffering is such a freedom. And to live in joy is such a freedom. To live without drama, it's such a freedom. And all humans need that. For every aspect of their being. Their hearts, for your body, for your life, for the people you love. That intensity is destructive. You feel better now? Now you know you're boring? And you remember there used to be a time where that energy bohemian, intellectual, was very... Everyone loved that, no? It was very interesting. It doesn't exist anymore. We've grown out of that. Pure consciousness, pure joy, pure love, giving, sustainability. This is what's important. Yeah.
My question is related to control. There is a thin line in between what is to be there, attentive, push someone, or see that things to go, how you have focus, that is to go to the other side.
You know,
Sometimes
control
I have
comes
to on
from
top.
fear. And if you're pushing someone, it's because you want them to change. So what you're saying is there's something wrong with that person. For example, if you're a boss, you can give an order, you can tell that person what you want, but then you have to let go. And you have to empower them through your own expression, no? Your own behavior. And then if they don't serve, you tell them to leave. Okay, that's not control. That's being the boss. But if you're behind someone constantly, or a child, or a husband, trying to organize him and change him, what happens? Nothing. They get resented, the relationship breaks down, because people hate to be controlled. If you push, they push back. And that's how it works. If you let go, then they come up with their own ideas. Humans like to think it's their idea. And if you're an intelligent woman, it's very easy to convince men it's their idea. No, I'm just joking. I always pick on the men because they're the minority in the room. You know, but you can't push. And especially with children and with teenagers, it's impossible. Impossible. You have to push, let go. And also see where your fear's involved. Why do you need to control? What are you afraid of losing? You always have to reflect back. And stop suffering it. Stop being exigent. Push, let go.
I think I'm at a point where I'm finding equilibrium in between the giving and not abandon myself. Since few months ago, I don't have a relationship, and I'm discovering how much energy I was losing, and I'm with an excess of energy, adrenaline. That is weird. I'm discovering first time myself, dedicating 100% to myself. Can you tell
Well,
me
you know,
something?
you're a man with big
Tú
plans,
eres un hombre con planes grandes,
big projects.
proyectos grandes.
And it's a time for you to put your
Y
attention
este es un
there
momento para poner tu atención ahí.
and move into
Y
action.
ponerte en acción.
You know, you've always had an
Siempre
excuse.
has tenido excusas.
Oh, the girlfriend,
Ah,
the
la
children,
novia, las
the this,
hijas,
the
la
that.
esta, lo
You
otro.
give
Tú das
because you don't want to take
porque
responsibility
no quieres tomar responsabilidad
and really grab your own
y de
life.
verdad tomar a tu vida por las...
Grab your own life
Tomar a tu vida, abrazar
completely.
tu vida completamente.
And now's your chance.
Y ahora es tu oportunidad.
And now you're seeing
Y
fear.
ahora estás viendo el miedo.
Because it's easy to give.
Porque es fácil dar,
It's easy to save other
es
people.
fácil salvar a otra gente.
But when you have to be
Pero
you
cuando tienes que ser tú
and you can't be a victim
y no
anymore,
puedes ser ya víctima,
there's this hesitation,
va a estar esta duda.
this place where you're not
Este lugar
trusting.
donde no estás confiando del todo.
So you have to push through
Tienes
that
que empujar y atravesar ese
and
lugar.
go.
E ir.
Go with your plans. Go with your
Ir
ideas.
con tus planes,
Go.
con tus ideas. Ir.
All that energy,
Toda esa energía,
direct where you want it to
a
go.
dirigirla donde quieres ir.
Not here, there.
No, poco aquí, otro poco allá.
Stop abandoning
Deja de
yourself.
abandonarte a ti.
If the kids want you,
Si las chicas te quieren,
you're there.
vas a estar para ellas.
But now,
Pero ahora,
go.
al modo ir.
You understand?
¿Se entiende?
You see you do that, no?
¿Ves qué haces eso, no? Solías hacerlo.
Yeah, you start to procrastinate
Claro,
because you're
empezando a
afraid.
procrastinar por estar asustado.
It's very easy not to move
Súper fácil no moverse, no ponerse
when
en
you're
acción
saving everyone
cuando
else.
estás salvando a todos los demás.
Now you've got no
Y
excuse.
ahora no te quedan excusas.
Now you have to look at yourself.
Ahora te tienes que mirar a ti.
Huh?
The question is, I did a lot of effort to arrive here. I received so much love. I'm happy. I'm super connected. And since yesterday, I have a sensation of wanting to run away to my house. I always wanted to be here. It's my deep desire. And it's happening this.
That's because you're moving
Y
stress.
eso es porque estás moviendo estrés.
Do you remember when you were a child?
¿Te acordás cuando eras niña?
We always want to run away.
Siempre queríamos escaparnos o irnos.
Whenever we feel
Cuando
uncomfortable
sea que nos sentíamos
or
incómodos,
unloved
o no amados,
or we're moving
o
stress,
estábamos moviendo estrés,
our automatic
nuestra
response
respuesta automática
is to run away.
es salir corriendo.
And that's when you need to run up the
Y
stairs
es justamente ahí cuando uno tiene que salir corriendo escalera arriba.
because it's a natural
Porque
instinct.
es un instinto natural.
When there's fear,
Cuando hay miedo,
we move into flight.
estamos en modo volar.
Okay? And it's just stress.
Y es solo estrés.
And you know, you come here, you're so
Y
excited,
llegaste hasta aquí, tan
and you
entusiasmada,
expand,
expandida,
and you're in La La
y
Landia,
estás en la Land.
and then all of a sudden,
Después de pronto,
the facets start doing their
las
job,
facetas empiezan a hacer su labor.
and the stress starts to
Y el
come.
estrés empieza a emerger a la superficie.
And that's when we want to run away.
Y es justamente ahí cuando queremos salir corriendo.
Okay, and it's very natural.
Y es súper natural,
It's
es
completely natural.
completamente natural que suceda.
So go and move your
Así
stress.
que ve a mover tu estrés.
Go and move your stress.
Vas y mueves tu estrés.
Yeah. Take full advantage of being
Y
here.
aprovecha el hecho de estar acá completamente.
You know, you're sad, you need to cry,
Estás triste, necesitas llorar.
you need to give to yourself.
Necesitas darte a ti.
And I know you did a big effort
Y
to
yo
be
sí que
here
sé que hiciste un esfuerzo enormísimo para llegar hasta acá.
because I know your story.
Porque conozco tu historia.
Okay?
And my mind at some point gets and say, how I'm going to maintain this when I go home? Because here is full of nice people, beach and things.
Stop anticipating what's going to go
De
wrong.
anticipar qué puede ir mal.
Just trust in your
Confía en tu
experience.
experiencia.
I don't find people any different.
Yo no encuentro las personas para nada diferentes.
Here,
Aquí,
in the airport,
en el aeropuerto,
anywhere,
en cualquier
at the
lado,
horse
en
races,
las carreras, los caballos,
they're all the same
todos son iguales.
because it's you,
Porque la gente eres tú,
your response,
tu respuesta,
your reaction.
tus reacciones.
So stay open.
Así que mantente abierta.
That's what's important.
Eso es lo más importante.
For you,
Para ti.
you don't try to change other people.
Uno no trata de cambiar a otra gente.
And then the drama comes in.
Y después entra el drama.
Oh, out in the real world,
Afuera, en el mundo real.
this is the real world.
Este es el mundo real.
There's million different people doing a billion
Un
things.
millón de cosas diferentes, gente diferente haciendo un millón de cosas.
The only difference with
La
here
única diferencia que tenemos
is
acá
people want to grow.
es que las personas que vienen quieren crecer.
That's it.
Eso es todo.
But be open
Pero estate abierto
and trust in that.
y confía en eso.
And don't get afraid.
Y no te
And don't
asustes,
close.
y no te cierres.
Keep opening.
Sigue
Keep
abriéndote,
opening.
sigue
You don't
abriéndote.
need the ocean.
No necesitas el océano.
You just open.
Solo ábrete
Yeah? And trust.
y confía.
I want to ask you about taking decisions. I never define.
Okay, listen.
Escucha.
You got to just move into action.
Solo te tienes que poner en acción.
That's it.
Eso es todo.
Don't overthink.
No pienses demasiado.
But give
Mira,
100%.
lo que hagas dale un 100%.
Say, I want to do
Dice, no
this.
quiero hacer esto,
Follow your instinct
sigues tu instinto
and do it.
y lo haces.
And don't get hooked into
No te
superficiality.
enganches en la superficialidad.
Focus.
Enfócate,
Move into action.
ponte en acción.
You have
Tú
consciousness,
tienes conciencia,
but you jump up here.
pero
Oh,
saltas a la cabeza.
oh, oh. Does this match this? Should I do that? Da, 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 da. No.
No,
Move.
ponte en acción.
And don't worry about the
Y ni
consequences.
te preocupes por las consecuencias.
Just move into action
Ponte en acción.
and give 100%.
Dale a lo que hagas un 100%.
Because that
Porque
procrastination,
la procrastinación
it cripples
que
you.
genera, te paraliza.
Because you're very creative,
Eres súper
you have lots of
creativo,
fabulous
tienes
ideas,
ideas fabulosas,
and then you get in your
y
head
después te enganchaste la cabeza
with your 300,000 thoughts a
con
day,
300,000 pensamientos por día
and you don't do it.
y no haces nada.
So do it.
Así que hazlo.
Some people just have to move into
Algunas
action.
personas solo tienen que saltar a la acción.
That's it. Just move into action
Solo ponerse en acción
and break the habit
y romper los hábitos.
of
de
procrastination.
procrastinar.
Yeah? Great.
Come visit our webpage for books, movies, and our wonderful retreat centers. Isha's simple yet powerful system is transforming lives around the world.